going to be a bumpy night.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Laugh Bunker podcast. I want to thank you guys all for joining us. My name is Josh. Paul, great to see you. It is, what's today's date? It is December 17th, Thursday. We're going to watch this, probably it's Friday. But thank you guys all for joining us. And man, how's everything?
Everything's good. It's been it's been an interesting year. Like we were talking earlier, it's been the year of the 3 Ps: pandemic, protests, and presidential election.
Yeah, man.
And it's just been crazy as all get out. Everybody's life has been changed forever, hopefully for the good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what all we want is the good for everybody.
This would be like
it's been a very weird year. I started the year working with you.
Yeah.
And now I work in Pasadena, and you are no longer working there either. So it's just a very interesting
very interesting time.
You're glad that we were able to start this. Always enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah.
And Tamika just coming in and there seemed to be a real love of film at the Westin LAX and TV. The conversations that went back and forth, and people knew the connections of the arts, no matter whether you went to Service Express or think of the managers, Brad. I mean, Brad worshiped The Godfather. I mean, just really was a phenomenal. And it was interesting how the concept of what we were thinking about, you would make a comment about a show. Oh, I love that actor. What did you see him in here? And it was almost the essence of the old, what was that? 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon. What was the real term?
Yeah, that was a.
Was it
6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon.
Like within 6 actors, everyone in the history of Hollywood is connected him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, Kevin Bacon goes back to Animal House.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon goes back to A Few Good Men. Jack Nicholson goes back to the 40s. I mean, so when you really start linking this stuff up, and then I heard one link where it was only 2 links to James Cagney.
Really?
Yeah, and it was from, remember Oliver Stone's movie?
Which one?
JFK. You love this movie.
Yeah.
So the movie you love, man.
Yeah.
But so was it Walter Matthau or was it Jack Lemmon? But he's in that movie, and then Jack Lemmon goes back to that. So anyway, or whoever, it was one of those 2 older actors.
I think it's Jack Lemmon.
You know, Jack Lemmon. Do you remember when Kevin Spacey won his Oscar? I believe his first one was for Usual Suspects, I believe, and the second one was for Beauty.
Oh, American Beauty?
Which I think is okay. Now because of Spacey, we have this whole other connotation. Yeah. But when he won his first Oscar, he gave it up for Jack Lemmon. And when you look at Jack Lemmon's work, he's kind of overlooked.
Yeah.
But when you look at his body of work and the films he was in, I mean, that guy could play the comedy. That guy could play the sad guy.
Yeah. I got introduced to them as a kid with Grumpy Old Men and Grumpy Old Men. Did
you ever see The Real Odd Couple with them, the movie?
When did that come out? Oh, no.
This is 60s stuff.
I don't think I ever saw the movie. No.
Well, you need to.
Okay.
Because the concept of even the crazy buddy cop movie goes all the way back to certain personalities that have been probably go back to the 20s with Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, it's worth going back.
Those 2 did a lot of family comedies around that time, especially I think Walter Matthau was
Bad News Bears.
Yeah, I think it was Bad News Bears. I think he did I think he was the neighbor on the one kids movie. Dennis the Menace. I think they did a theatrical Dennis the Menace movie, and he was like the neighbor or the somewhere like that. I remember.
Well, I mean, these are just the foundation of Hollywood in that area of the 40s and 50s and whatever. Yeah. I've been reading The Godfather.
The book. Okay.
The book. Uh-huh. I know we're going to go back to all the pandemics.
Yeah.
One thing that I did is I read this book. Have you read The Godfather?
I have not. I've not. But did
But-
you see the release? They released the.
I did. Yeah, I
Have
haven't
you
seen it,
yet?
but I
haven't seen it
no,
yet.
no, I haven't.
Me neither.
The book is very interesting
Uh-huh.
because it gives you the backstories and what happens
Okay.
to some of the side characters that we're only introduced to. In the opening, when the funeral taker, he wants revenge on the boys who assaulted his daughter.
Yeah.
Well, we find out exactly how it goes.
Okay. Okay.
The Johnny Fontaine story is, I got to tell you, there's chapters about Johnny Fontaine, and
Okay.
he's representative as Frank Sinatra character. But his life, it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoiler alert, in the book, The Godfather wants to bankroll Johnny Fontaine moving into producing movies.
Okay.
He's paying $20 million for 5 movies.
Yeah.
But so then when Godfather gets shot and everything's in the balance, it's the stress of Fontaine working against the studio. Anyway, just interesting stuff
Yeah.
that
A lot more depth to the story than
yeah. And interesting how a great director like Francis Ford Coppola knew how to edit this to keep it moving. And I always felt that with The Godfather, the extras. Have you ever done extra work?
No, never. No.
You know what? If it starts going and you're in your position, you should go to Central Casting and do this.
I probably would actually. Yeah.
You need to. Well, now the pay's a lot better than when I did it. But for someone like you,
Yeah.
you're going to be enthralled on how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really and you meet some pretty crazy, you meet some pretty crazy ass people on it, but it's just something that you should do.
Yeah.
Because if you like it, you would find it interesting.
If I am lucky enough to like where everything picks up again, and then I'm kind of still have the time that I have to do things, then yeah, I definitely would. Because I considered it when my schedule was a lot busier, and, but definitely, yeah, I probably will do it.
Okay, so the first P, going back to the 3 Ps that have changed everybody's world: the pandemic, and the pandemic life.
Yeah.
So for you, Josh, what were the pluses and what are the negatives of this year? Now, obviously, that comes within the parameter of March 20th on.
Yeah.
Still, pretty much, it was normal for everybody. Bam. Then tell me what you got.
I think summertime is when things got real for a lot of people.
Mhm.
That's when a lot of companies started to. The future started to look bleak for a lot of people, but at least for
When did you get furloughed?
I got furloughed pretty early on, end of March.
Okay,
March,
about same time I did then.
Yeah,
Okay. Same time everybody did, pretty much. Okay,
basically. And for me, I there was some uncertainty about the future, but my wife has a good stable job. She worked from home. I was, I got on unemployment right away and was furloughed for majority of the year. So, no, I was nervous. I think like everybody, for just to catch the virus, and then also not sure what the job market was going to be like. But I honestly, I didn't waste any time. I've enjoyed my time. I really have. I've spent a lot of time with the family.
Has it altered the direction of your life, or maybe a pursuit, goals, or anything?
Yeah. I think it gave me the chance to kind of pursue certain things that I kind of wanted to pursue or didn't have the time to fully put my attention to. Went back to school, almost done with that.
How's that going?
Good. I
did you like the on Zoom experience?
I didn't do much on Zoom. It was most of it was just through the modules online.
Oh, really?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh,
and they gave you the option if you wanted to participate in the Zoom course. Like,
did you at all?
No, I didn't. Okay. I prefer not to. I don't know. They met like once or twice a week on Zoom. Whoever wanted to join.
And you went to what? Pasadena City College?
Pasadena City College, yeah.
It's interesting. So that was the end of my, no, because from there I applied to go to USC.
Yeah.
But when I went there, my first class was at night.
Yeah.
All people who had real jobs.
Yeah.
Working at night. Even though I'm the old guy in everything I do now, it was older, more mature class. Even the ideas and the work was on another level.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher was older. He had created the Equalizer original one with the British, and also Chuck Norris thing.
Nice.
What was that? Well, so there was a quality. And truth is, I learned. I mean, even some of those notes I gave you were notes from him. I really just understood. So then I went ahead and said, you know what, man, I'm taking more classes. So then I went ahead and took a day class.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did anyone get dressed? I mean, what, really? You're talking about film? That's, I was so, and maybe I'm old, but I just couldn't. And really, that was,
like,
I just couldn't.
How early was the class? How early was it?
Oh, no, it was easy. No, I'm saying the mentality of young people, being the difference in someone who had a job and working, and kids that were right out of high school that didn't know shit.
Yeah.
And it was so different.
Yeah.
And like I always told you, my number one dream would be to go to Harvard.
Okay.
I mean, I think that to be in that, I mean, I love that kind of shit.
To be in that environment, yeah.
No, not just him, but the level of I like competition.
Yeah.
I'm a very competitive person. Yeah. And it's probably because I maybe got bullied as a kid, but I like, man, I want to do the best. Whatever.
Yeah. What about USC Film School? Wouldn't that be pretty competitive as well? No?
Yeah, I tried to get in.
Yeah.
I had some pretty good recommendations too. Let me put it this way. And let me put it this way. Well, and I'm sure they did a financial look, and till my daughter gets out of college, it's just strapped time.
Yeah.
But also I'm 50. I was 54, 55-year-old white guy, and
you got a lot of young high school age applicants, and I'm sure.
Okay, so. You said that you went to Pasadena.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to finish? Are you going to go from there on?
You know what? Once I finish this, I got a certification in media management, media programming and management. That's kind of wanted to get that kind of foundation. And so applied a few jobs that revolved around certain companies. I actually came pretty close recently to one for a digital coordinator position. I came pretty close. And so I went back to school for that, spent a lot of time with the family, took care of my son pretty much this entire year, just me and him throughout the day. My wife worked and took a lot of that load off her hands. And,
hey, by the way,
action figures online.
Text me your address so we can send your son a present. We're not really giving out a lot of cookies in the COVID area, though. I did bake, and I keep my stuff really clean.
Yeah.
I mean, when I bake at home, it's like I bake, I spend about an hour cleaning with bleach.
Yeah.
I don't mess around.
Yeah.
No one comes in the freaking kitchen when I'm cooking. You could die. The truth is, I mean, so I really take it, but my wife is leery about going ahead and going places. And the truth is, dude, with the pandemic, it's out of control.
Yeah. If you don't need to go anywhere, it's just best.
No, I agree. So anyway, it kind of messed up everybody's Christmas, whatever. So you went to school.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff done.
Yep.
And you read a lot of books?
Did a little online business, got some money on that.
So you felt it was a productive time for you?
Yeah.
Did you get things done that you wouldn't have gotten done normally?
Yeah, a lot. Just everything. I started all my spending money basically came from that little small business I started. It still kind of helps. It still helps, even though the sales have kind of died down a little bit. Got a lot of reading done. Got a lot of my workouts have been a lot more consistent. I beefed up the gym. Although
you feel better then?
Yeah, you know what?
Physically feel better?
I did up until maybe November, when around Thanksgiving, and then just it's constant food and sweets in the house. It's just killer, dude. So,
well, I do. If you're open to it, I'd be glad to drop off some cookies over the holidays.
If you would buy any, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm safe and whatever. No one's ever gotten sick. I baked cookies. Yesterday I got up at 11. I baked from 11, and I got at 7. I finished. I took a shower and I went to work.
Nice.
I baked cookies for all the people who help us in our lives, and so
good,
and Friday. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to Baldy.
Yeah.
And then come home and I got to bake, so I'm baking for Travolta.
Yeah, nice.
On for Saturday. You know, it's so funny. I texted him. I said, "Hey, man, I understand with the pandemic if you don't want cookies." And he wrote, "I'm even gonna." So I'll tell you exactly what he said to me.
Did we talk about that commercial he did with Samuel L. Jackson? Have you seen it?
Should we talk? I mean, the question is, should we even talk about that, right?
But yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of like what's been going on. And then
well, anyway, he said, "Fuck the pandemic, get me some cookies." So I said, "Okay." So anyway, I'll bake for him, and I saw a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get some. I told my wife, I said, "We got to get something Hot Wheels," and she goes, "Won't he eat them?" And I was like, if he's eating Hot Wheels, then he's not going to go far in life. He's going to be pretty much restrained to the small bus. So anyway, that being said, okay, so you're at this year. Now, what about with your how is being inside for you guys? I mean, does it get wearing at times that everybody's around?
Yeah, at times. But we've adapted to it. We've done pretty good. You know, my wife kind of got the whole working from home down.
Okay. Was it hard at first? Did she find it like confusing?
Yeah, it was hard at first in terms of like working like the home life and her work and workload that she's got. So, and then also me getting used to this kind of situation as well. It was kind of because I'm always used to being at work and come home to help and do what I can with the time that I'm given, but I got to plan my day kind of like and kind of keep it kind of structured or at least kind of like routine so we can mix it up here and there. So you know, we got something to do I know what's next to do. But yeah, man, we moved. We
I love the layout of your that backyard is just like
it's killer.
Party potential. I mean, it's barbecue time. It's what I like about it is that I love where you live at the end.
Yeah, secluded too.
I really dig that, and I thought that back room. I mean, you could be running a comedy. You could shoot a comedy club on that back wall.
Yeah,
and you
can. Yeah, you're right.
No, you really could.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of potential there. Anyway, I thought the house was pretty, and I liked the kitchen was bad. As a cook, baker.
It's great.
You know, I'm confined to a small space, but I tell you what, it was pretty nice. So I thought it was really cool.
We put some Christmas lights around the outdoor kind of what's it called canopy thing that's out there, the gazebo thingy.
The eave.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Professionally.
And I designed a couple of rooms in the house in terms of like the furniture and what we're going to put in it. My kids' corner, I did all that. The backyard, I kind of set that up too. Just kind of make myself useful around the house. So it's been cool. It's been productive. It's been, you know, I think at this point I'm still I got to figure out where, at least for a career, where I'm headed and see what options there are. There's not a whole lot right now, but you know, we're still good financially, so it's fine.
Well, it's good.
How about you?
Good.
How's everything? How's this year been for you?
Well, it's just been a very interesting year. With the home life, yes, it has been a little constrained with my wife also being a teacher.
Yeah.
My daughter, in teaching theater and dance.
Yeah.
So I had to turn the whole room into a studio, and then having to my wife or daughter online, tutoring online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constrained to using my phone 18 minutes a day only now.
Yeah.
And and I can have master bedroom in the morning, and that, so it's pretty much been a little tight.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I would have to say it's been probably one of the best years of my life since probably when I started getting into the arts with my wife.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting year. We worked together at the hotel with some of the greatest people. I mean, I don't know if when you get older, maybe you'll look back, and I've had a chance, and you've heard some stories about some friends of mine that still friends 30s, but some of the people there were very intelligent.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really, no, I mean,
and
intelligence is not IQ. Intelligence is just culturally able to just carry conversation. It just made work fun, and especially those Saturday and Sunday mornings, like at 6 o'clock. A lot
of good people, man.
Having coffee, some bullshitting. It was just a good time, and
a lot of people that I mean, it's pretty interesting that you can see being like long-term friends, long-term people. Like we've kept in touch all year. We started this thing. And then I've had small gatherings of people from the people on your side staff, like Moses and Corey and Matt, to the Valdez, like Tomas and my friend desk people, and kept in touch with them. And it's just like you I don't know, more so than a lot of other people that you come across or other jobs that you've worked on.
I agree 100%.
These people you reach out to, and like you want to see how they're doing, and you invite them over to family events, or you invite them over just to hang out for the day, or whatever. So it's been the people that we worked with are pretty special, I'd say.
It was, and when there was a transition of a couple certain key elements. I think when people might have had a hard time with certain people, but when the certain front desk managers started going, things really started to go, and then the DO, but when Phil was there and Kurt was there, he's just do your job. Who gives a shit? Have a good time. And really, those were the best years. I mean, for me to come into work, I'd stop in HR bullshit, HK, go upstairs, we
were some of the last remaining people, really, in terms of like that. I wouldn't say that had been there long term. There was a lot of people that still were there for a long period of time, but the ones that we associated with, the ones we talked to and hung out with on a regular basis, a lot of the front desk people, they all started leaving, and it became
freaking great people,
a lot of great people. And then
and I'm going to say Esteban, Robert, these guys always had my back. They were fun. I love Karina, and even her husband. You know what I mean? I just talked to Bell Desk guys today. Yeah. So it just was a good people, and I had experience, and because my life has been on kind of about experience, so I mean, the night before I left, Steve we grilled hot dogs in the Bell Closet, Chicago hot dog, and it just had chips and whatever, and the whole lobby just reeked. Yeah, like
it was a family. It was a family, definitely.
Family, and then even Ramon. Yeah, to go. I'm going to tell you what. Someday we got to get there again.
We will.
But to hang out at this guy's garage with his brother-in-law, this is Animal House on crack. Yeah. They are the coolest, funnest people, and Daniel and Steve. So it was a great time. So I went from there, and the transition and really the transition was for me, not just because it was just driving. Yeah. I had a supervisor who was not doing a job and putting people at risk, and I really wanted to study comedy. I started going to the clubs, and if you're going to do it, you just don't F around. So this hotel I'd moved to is 2 blocks away. Yeah. I would live there, and that's what you have to do. That's gone.
I think it will open up again. I think Ice House will definitely open up again.
No, it will, but not for me. So in other words, that was a part of a time. And then I got back into the hiking and was really training hard and everything. And then the whole California burned. The whole state just fucking burned. So then I was depressed, and then I watched The Queen's Gambit. Yeah. And as stupid as that sounds, and your recommendation, and I made my wife watch it, it really it touched me in made me think about some things,
Yeah.
different things, and what I should be doing. And I had and then at the end of the summer, I started a cartel. So it's been shit. I
An
mean,
interesting year.
well, it is. I mean, because
Yeah.
the truth is, and in all honesty, someone gave me some marijuana plants and I grew them.
Yeah.
And I'm very OCD, and anybody who eats my food or eats my cookies or works with me, I'm detail,
Yeah. Yeah.
man. And they came out incredible. I grew the mustache for it.
Yeah.
And I got the hat. My wife went and picked me up the hat, so I'm all ready to go. And no, the truth is, it's been phenomenal. I've reached out to a couple of old friends. I made a boast.
Yeah.
On my 40th birthday that I would go to Denali. We've talked about it. That's it. I bought gear. I'm going, and that's so. My goal is to get these two friends of mine to go.
Yeah.
So in the pandemic year, and probably the jewel was my wife and I going together to Yosemite in July when nobody was there.
Yeah.
That was freaking.
That's right.
I probably will never go back.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back, if that makes sense, because we always talk about the Meccas, and I'm always saying this or that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I climbed, and I stood at the base of Everest and looked at it.
Yeah.
I got hooked on Arnold, and I worked out with him eventually 38 years later at a gym. If you're talking about climbing Yosemite, I mean, that is it.
Yeah.
And so we went there in July, and it's, with the pandemic and my daughter moving back and just not having a chance to go. So for us to just take time to get away, and we stayed at this little hotel right outside the entrance.
Yeah.
In fact, I guess from this hotel up about 100 yards, you can't park there for free. So people, all the hippies and crazy people, park there and then walk in. So we're right on the river, and you're looking, and it's just that night we got there. It's a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
Have you driven there?
To Yosemite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no straight road. You're driving all over, and then roads were closed. That highway by Fresno, it was like took forever. It felt crazy. So we got there, and so that night I went, and they had only thing that was open was pizza, which was fine for me. So I had pizza and some beers, but I walked up and was hanging out with those people, drinking and just walking up and talking to the people outside the entrance. Yeah. From all over the world. I mean, people from all over a lot of Germans, and there was a couple Brazilian, Argentinian couples. Yeah. But it was just fascinating. They were all there. So I was working a lot of nights. I couldn't really sleep. So we got up really early, and we got in there. And it's like mythical to me. I mean, plus the trees are so massive. Yeah. When you go in huge, there. I'd never seen it, But when we broke through and we saw the valley, it was like, and I'd watched massive documentaries about this. It just was like, man, only God makes that. Yeah. And you're thinking, well, John Muir walked in here. Or how about the Native Americans who saw that every freaking day of their lives? Yeah. But anyway, we drove around. We went around the valley, and then we went by Camp 4. Mm-hmm. And then we walked over to the Lower Falls, which is probably the most watched thing in the history of Yosemite. It's the closest, so anyone can. There was no one. Yeah. We didn't see anybody. We didn't see another car till 9:30 in the morning. Wow. We hiked like 11 miles of a valley and saw 5 people. It was so bizarre. But then my wife and I hiked right up to the base of El Cap. Yeah. And you look up it, and it's just like I'm standing where the greatest of all time have stood. Yeah. So then the next morning I got up and hiked from the Lower Falls up to the Upper Falls to the top of El Cap. Yeah. And to the edge and looked down. Yeah. And then walked back all the way down the Upper Falls and never saw another person. Nice. Man. And what blew my mind was the top of El Cap is a dense forest. It's not rock. Okay. So the rock is only at the end, but I didn't know this. And it was quiet. Yeah. And it was so weird. So anyway, of everything, I can't think of my wife and I had a phenomenal time together, and it just was magical. So then my wife, she's wanted to go back a couple times, and I'm almost, can I ever go back? I mean, really. Will it be good as
as the time you went? You know, I don't know. Maybe you'll experience new things. I don't know.
Like 10 million people.
Yeah, probably.
Like I can drive to downtown LA and I'm gonna I could drive to 7th Street with where all the homeless people are and everyone's camping.
There
I could
you
just
go.
go camp down there because that's what it'll be. But anyway, that was a total blessing. And then even to just kind of move forward. Really, I started the year writing on a level that I hadn't in years. And then after August with everybody online, and then I've become suspect to other people's opinions or social mores and not really sticking to what I believe in art. It's kind of, I've become very twisted and convoluted and then making it hard to finish.
Yeah.
So I think by the end of this year, I have a good plan. And so I feel like I would not have the mindset I had now if it had not been for the pandemic.
Yeah. And
so,
I think your workouts changed. You did a lot more hiking.
Everything. Everything. So
yeah, everything. Actually, you're structured.
When everything closed on the 22nd, I was so excited. I thought, oh my gosh, I can go to mass every morning. I can hike every morning. I'm just gonna be. Then the next day, churches closed, gyms closed, the trails,
ice house closed, comedy closed,
everything.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Many years ago, Tom Brady got his knee injury, and he missed the season. And I don't remember who the sports announcer was, but he said, by him taking off this year at this time of his life, it will extend his career phenomenally.
Yeah, I can see that.
This year, because of I started the year on to bench 350 again on my 58th birthday. Was training hard. I was hiking, but still pushing it mainly hard.
Yeah.
And now, when everything closed, and I got the heads up from my friends, so I was able to get some weights and dumbbells. Yeah. But I spent more time doing flexibility. And because of that flexibility, my body feels a lot different.
Yeah.
I've lost 20 pounds.
Nice.
And so and I wasn't fat, but I lost my bulk. You know, at my age, you have more testosterone in your mustache than I got in my whole freaking body.
So some days I'm so tired.
I almost, if you shave it off, can I eat it? Because then I can get a steroid boost.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been good.
It's good.
It's been hard at times for the family together.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it messed up Christmas. It messed up Thanksgiving for my sister. My family's getting together. No one can travel.
Same. It changed up things over here too.
Weird. No one should be traveling.
Yeah.
You know, if everyone would have done their shit all year, we would not be talking right now. And this is a fact. And this is a word to you. You read about Tom Cruise's tirade.
Yeah.
Right? Well, guess what? If no one would have went to presidential rallies, if no one would have been out drinking bars, and if people went to protest, and if people would have just done what they should have done, we would not be here.
Yeah. And
I saw a stat: 60% of all closed businesses are never coming back in America.
Oh, I could believe it. Yeah, especially with the second round of shutdowns. It's
I think everybody thought it was going to happen, whatever. But on the other hand, I have met
because the whole country, at least it seemed like the rest of the world was on the same page. But at least for us, we were on. Half of the country was resistant to change, and the other one was
there was no leadership.
There's no leadership. There wasn't. And that's why we're in.
Because it became politicized.
It did.
And it was wrong, and it forgot about the people who, hey, let me tell you what, man. We have friends from our industries who, how are they going to live?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
This is a devastating thing, and we are personally involved. I mean, my job changed from wearing a suit and a tie and bullshitting all day to dealing with horrible people and picking up garbage.
Yeah.
So our
jobs,
our industry is different.
Our industry has changed. Our jobs were affected, and the virus has already, came close to home already for you and me. So it's we all know somebody that has it or that is either.
Well, it's funny because we both said the first round we didn't know anybody.
Yeah, we know anybody. Yeah,
nobody who had it. But listen, the hospital. And here's the deal: people forget. Yeah. You're not going to die if you're young. You're right. I'm sorry. It's just the problem is you're killing other people.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that
Depends
you,
on-
yeah, depending on your age or health, yeah, you have a very good chance
Yeah.
you'll probably just kick
and
this.
that's who,
but-
you know. And so anyway, let's do our job.
Yeah.
Now the second P, the protests,
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, me neither. Are we gonna touch
Because
that
we
one?
can talk about it forever. Listen,
You know,
I hope
it had
the
its good.
best
It had
for,
its good. It had its good moments. It had its bad moments.
you know, it was a perfect reflection of humanity.
Yeah.
Great and assholes.
Yeah.
That's what humanity, you know, humanity, that's what
Yeah.
happens when you get infected with it. When you're born, you're cool. And then remember when you're remember 2-year-old? Oh, you're coming
Mhm.
across this now. Your parents will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Terrible twos. That's when
Yeah.
humanity becomes part of you. And then it's all about me, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, listen, the only thing that bothered me, we got to be kind, man. I don't care. And you know what? Do not presuppose on people.
Yeah.
Guess what? Some of the finest people I know are police officers who
Yeah.
would die for me and my family.
Yeah.
I've also met some that are not very kind, but
Yeah.
I've met that in pretty much everything. But you know what's crazy? I know you're going to think this is crazy. I told my wife, so she's my witness. I have never met a Mexican person I didn't like, ever. I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I know, but no, I'm just
No,
well,
yeah.
and think about my lifestyle where I've been,
Yeah.
and so we're not just talking about normal people's relationships with different people. I just love it, and I just, you know, and of course, I know the cartel has killed millions of people and the whole deal, you know, and
they're out there.
well, and you know what, I applied.
I think really it's everybody needs to get off the internet and see the world for what it is and people for who they really are, because
I agree 100%.
It's not what Twitter says. It's what the people that you talk to at work and at church and at home. Those are what the real opinions of that are out there.
Have you ever driven across the country?
I've gone to a lot of states. I've been to some East Coast, most of the West Coast ones, but haven't driven across. No.
There's something about going into the vacuum of the middle and coming out on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
And
I did the Utah trip, and just went through Arizona.
don't you just
Arizona, Utah?
You always meet the coolest people.
That's
Is
cool.
that not true?
Yeah, it is true.
Oh,
It's cool.
I've been, well, having as a young man been on the road a lot, so to say. I think the middle of I've always loved it. My wife and I, we can get, when my daughter was going to school in Denver, we would drive out. Now we had always driven from the Chicago way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because climbing and whatever. But to go through Utah, it's like Colorado, the mountains are on your head. They come straight up from the highway and they're there. And you can't even see the sky half the time.
Yeah.
But in Utah, the big mountains are away and the expanse. And it's so huge. And I don't know, that's kind of peaceful to me almost.
It was cool.
When I'm in Colorado, I'm always expecting the rocks to fall on my head. And we've had to get off the highway before because of rock slides in the years past.
And you go to these shops and these stores over in Utah, or you go through, and it's just, they're just like regular people. It's just no one's not really telling you anything, or like, you know what I mean? Like, as long as everybody's kind of abiding by the social rules of like mask wearing or whatever for the most part, but you see some rebels here and there, but for the most part, everybody's chill, and everybody wants to have a good time, be with their loved ones, earn a living. That's pretty much it, man.
It's so funny because you know what? So protests, we wrap up. We hope the best for everybody. But the truth is, if we want to have a great country, we got to have accountability, and that starts with every person saying, "Hey, man, am I doing what's right?
Yeah.
Am I allowing friends in my circle be unkind, uncool?" I mean, I know this sounds like trivial, and this sounds like, 1968 LSD hippie mantra, but the truth is, I walk out my door and I like to make jokes.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I see someone in my hotel who gives me a stink eye or is pissed off, in my heart, I'm like, screw you, man. We're having a good time, and I will work it till I'm exhausted. That being said, a kind word is everything. And the truth is, it's all about respect.
Yeah. What's the third P? Let's do it. What's the third P?
The third P is the presidential election, which who cares?
that it did dominate the whole year.
Well, it changed everything, and and you know what's so funny? I haven't heard a conversation about it at my job site or the gyms or one thing about, even though the gym did close, I am working at an outside gym, so that's been good at the end of this.
Yeah.
I think that's helped me emotionally. But with the presidential election, I would have to say this one thing. Of the three Ps, the only thing that really changes your life is the pandemic.
Pretty much. Because
that's the only way. And for everyone out there, you had a great opportunity to do great things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt like
in terms of taking advantage of the time
what
off,
you did right there.
Yeah.
Well, I started, but then when I got called back to work and working nights and everything,
you adapted and you changed and you did things that you wouldn't normally have been able to do with it.
No,
a lot of time.
I agree
too. Yeah.
I agree.
I think, there's certain people that just kind of would sit around and wait for, whatever they're.
What was the best moment? Okay. Give it to me. Let's wrap up the three Ps, because really, truth is, none of this will matter to us next year. Or no, 2 years down the line. So, question for you. What was the pinnacle moment of your pandemic year?
Pinnacle moment? I think for me, it's just the extra time at home with the family. I don't know if there's any one moment. I can't say it, but in terms of pinnacle moment, what do you mean?
Well, I would have to say event.
Okay.
For me, because if you're saying not just moment to move to an event, the event was going to Yosemite with my wife.
Got it.
Kind of being like we're back, in Boulder and young and cruising and having a drink and driving. Not drinking and driving, but just, adventure. Stopping at the town in Mariposa and getting a burger or just meeting people. And I love the bullshit with anyone wherever I'm at. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. But then to stand it on top of El Cap, and I'm just there and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
In fact, the coolest thing is on my way back down, is when I got back down past the upper falls, these climbers came running down. So they had come up over, and these guys had packs on that were freaking solid ropes and gear. I mean, this is big ass packs. And they were just like running. And it was just like, it'd be like, I guess, if you lived in the 30s and you were sitting somewhere in DiMaggio and Babe Ruth ran by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was that. So that was my pinnacle moment. But the truth is, the Queen's Gambit, since we'll go into what really counts entertainment, that changed my life on a level that someday I can't explain, but maybe someday I will.
I would say
something about it just really helped me get direction, or just I don't know. It was something I needed to see.
I would say,
as stupid as it sounds, it really was something that it's taken the place of Narcos for me.
Really? Okay.
Oh, totally. I don't know why.
Till season 3 of Mexico comes out. Then.
When is that? Well, obviously I'm prepped.
Yeah.
I guess if I had a chessboard here, but truth is, my wife and I and daughter were playing chess.
Yeah.
So, do you ever play chess?
I never play chess. No.
Oh, so we were playing.
Yeah.
Because remember, I told you how in the 7th grade it was really. I mean,
it was big.
It was big time. So I haven't played in years. But anyway, that being said, I suck. I'm sure, but it was kind of fun. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
So since we're going into entertainment.
Yeah, so
I'm going to say the number one, because that's all we care about, really. The number one thing for me this year was the Queen's Gambit.
Okay,
that's for me.
As far as same thing. I think as far as a new series.
Okay, how about a narrative series? And the limited series is becoming my favorite of all format for some reason. It gives me enough exposition to love it more, but
Yeah.
then I got shit to do, so I can get over and move on.
Yeah. For me, I would say the best, and it might be recency bias or whatever, but I think Queen's Gambit is probably number one in terms of a new series that had come out that just kind of blew away the competition.
It's the most watched show on Netflix, by the way.
It still is in Netflix's
Yep.
top 10. And then I think for me, one of the best shows that I got into this year was Breaking Bad. Finally, that was my favorite show. Also, second to Queen's Gambit. But that one is
that the
I was late
first
to the
time?
party.
No, is that the first time that you watched
Yeah.
the Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
why I have to put it second, because
Okay.
I was a little late to the party on that one. So yeah.
Well, this was not a year of film. I don't care what was gone out.
No.
There's been some great things. So yes, a person like me who loves film
Yeah.
watched more TV series than I ever have.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of Narcos. I watched a lot of the same stuff. I think one of the movie that really got me through this year that I watched a lot were probably the two David Finchers. I got Zodiac, and Social Network. They were constantly on at my house.
By the way, that Social Network is on my no, it's my go-to.
And that movie
always has been, and I find it. I mean, it makes me want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I to be on that level of genius. I mean, I'm not on that level at all. But I'm saying, when you're surrounded by people of that level,
yeah,
and my friends, my climbing partners were on that level, genius kind of guys. It's just, I love the competition. So Social Network, and I think the introduction of when he breaks up with the girl, and his walking through Harvard, that beginning phase, I'm going to put that in the top 5 of my favorite film openings of all time. I felt like I was there. I thought it was magical.
Yeah.
Fincher's touch is staggering.
Those movies, especially Social Network, and I would say even the first Star Trek from J.J. Abrams. Those two, when I was doing my homework and stuff, all from like since the fall, August or whatever, I would just put those movies on. It helped me a lot to like just kind of like zone out, maybe focus on some writing, like because I had to do some script stuff. And just kind of helped me. I could put on the background. Those are my 2 background movies of this year, I think.
Oh, interesting. So, okay, we won't talk. We must bring up background, because Social Network would be one for me. Queen's Gambit's become one for me.
Yeah.
This About Time is one for me always.
Okay.
Just Moneyball.
Yeah.
Godfathers, of course.
Damn, I wish I would have put together a good list in terms of like my.
No. Listen, you'll text me the list, and we'll put up a final thing. But
I'm missing a bunch. I know this whole year. It's a long year.
It is, and it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Documentary wise,
there's a lot of documentaries too I got into. So I'll shoot you a text message of some of those.
Well, I started the pandemic year.
Yeah.
With Michael Jordan's ESPN documentary, The Last Dance.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was great. Obviously, socially nostalgic for my wife and I. Those were our I mean, this is dating, married. Ron, one of my great friends, he was this African-American friend of mine. And I went to his family reunion in Columbus one time, and I said, Ron, why am I some darker than half your family? What's going on? What's going on here? I'm not getting the real deal, man. Come on. So, but he loved movies, and he ran the tickets at our company. So tickets that were supposed to go to, let's say customers.
Yeah.
We went to the best games, and I know I've talked about this, but anyway, it's a phenomenal thing. And Ron really was one of my great friends because he loved film.
Yeah.
And we saw the greatest films, like The Sixth Sense for the first time. And he was just a cool guy. And his wife lived at the church where I lived,
Yeah.
and that he would live there too.
Yeah.
So that even more story. But anyway, just a great time, and really, man, times go so stinking fast.
Yeah. It's already the
I
end
mean,
of
that was yesterday for me.
Yeah.
This pandemic for you will be I mean, I'll be dead when it's yesterday for you, but I'm just saying it's just. But anyway, we were talking about movies, and I'm a person who loves to go to the theater.
Yeah.
Love the experience. I think there's a buzz there when you go to a matinee. When you go to the matinee, it's the serious people.
Yeah.
They're there because they want to experience the film, and it's not going to be someone going, well, why did he do that? And I want to turn around and say, I'm sure they're going to fucking tell us. Because if they're not, I'm probably leaving because they're not following the paradigm that I've been trained to follow. So anyway, it is what it is. And
hope movies come back. I hope we get to go to theaters. Really enjoy theaters.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hearing, I mean, George Washington University, like we were talking about, said they're not coming back to classes. And if people aren't going to theaters eventually, I mean, this is Netflix and Disney's dream.
It is.
This is total monopoly.
There's a lot of money in theaters.
Oh, it's all money. Yeah. But here's the deal. When you condition people, they say it takes 30 days to break an addiction or to have a life change. When you have people not going to the movies for a year, 2 years, plus some of these, think about that theater over in Alhambra on Garfield. Mm-hmm. How much is that property worth now with the wealth going in? It's not going to last. That property, look at the high rises. Yeah. It's all about the money. And for the movies, so I haven't been. So my pick of the year is Missoula. Okay. And I watched Social Network as much as you. Yeah. In fact, I had it on the other day when I was baking cookies. So I mean, it is my thing. But that movie seemed to put my sense into what really matters. Yeah. And when we talked about the 3 Ps, I'm not raising my daughter on a back street where people are shooting with machine guns and shooting mortars. And I think we need to look at a little bit of thankfulness in this country as well.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so that movie, and I know you love Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, I do too. I think it's one of the great film openings. This one is a little bit more confined, but this film made me feel on edge the whole time, and I've seen it 3 times. Yeah, the lead actor who plays the colonel there, who's running the brigade, he's a movie star on an incredible level. He just owns this film. I highly recommend it. Some of the other things I watched for the first time was Nurse Jackie. Yeah, that's a great show. The Bodyguard, which I thought his story. But once he has the relationship with the lady, there was no magnetism. I loved the cat and mouse play on it, but the guy was great. Yeah. Godless, which was the Scott Frank's first series, and has Merritt Weaver and has our favorite narco guy, Scott Scooter Braun.
Yes. Yeah, Scooter Braun. There you go. You're right.
What kind of name is that? I mean, come on, man. Help me out with this.
And he's old enough to not really be born in the whole Hollywood naming your kid after.
No.
I don't know.
Another one was Ozarks.
Oh yes, I love Ozarks.
And that girl with the blonde hair, and I can't think of her name right now, but she's on the level of the Queen's Gambit girl.
She's great. Yeah.
Steals every stinking scene. I can't wait to see her career.
Yeah,
she's so fearless. She freaks me out. Like the Queen Gambit girl, I can't party with her. She could bury me. It's almost embarrassing. So and this girl scares me. She could beat me up. And she owns. We always talk about the movie star and the actor. Well, them 2 girls are movie stars.
Yeah, they are.
They steal the scene. And the truth is, Breaking Bad, I always go back to it.
It's a great show, man.
It's not a great show. It's the great show. Vince Gilligan created something that is perfect, that has no weak link.
It's one of the best shows I've seen all the way through. 5 seasons.
And his cinematographer, you look at when they started getting some money, the openings, this is some of the better than film openings.
Yeah.
That guy is genius. What was great is that his ability to have characters that someone could jump onto. I like him. I like him. Oh, he's my favorite. And I thought that was pretty fascinating. You know,
Yeah.
I sent you the picture. My
Yes.
nephew went there to the house.
He
Drove to Arizona for the house.
Did you
Anyway.
ask him if anybody lives there, or was it just kind of there?
Oh no, there people live there. He said.
Wow, I would not. I would not. Can you imagine? Just crackheads don't sleep, so it's like, or
No, I'm sorry.
meth heads don't sleep. So it's-
Crackheads sleep because their drug only lasts a few seconds, but they rob more. It's the meth heads, they're good for weeks on the same amount of supply.
Exactly, and they stay up late at night. So I would never.
Oh, I know. Hey,
never think of buying that house.
you worked the overnight at the hotel.
Oh yes.
If you're up at 4 a.m. every day, there's something not right.
There's something. Yeah. So in terms of movies that really stood out to me this year, I would have to go back and think and kind of review some of the stuff I watched. But I remember the Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe, and
Yes,
that,
the black and
that
white.
one stood out to me.
Creepy.
Pretty creepy, man. Yeah, that
Well,
was
those
pretty-
guys are. I mean, Robert Pattinson, for whatever people want to say, the link in the Twilight. That
Yeah.
guy, he makes creative choices.
Yes.
He's a great actor,
Yeah.
and
he's
and
really
and,
coming
the,
into
and
his
William Dafoe, of course, being William Dafoe, but he comes out of a small theater group in New York, by the way. William Dafoe, but
Yeah.
the black and white ad, if that was color, it wouldn't have had the power. But
own. Mhm.
I agree. I don't like that. It's creepy.
It's creepy. I just remember it stood out to me as one of the films that I just remembered from this year. I'd have to.
My wife too would say the same thing. By the way, on
Yeah.
that,
I'll give you a
She's
list.
who got me to watch it.
I'll give you a list of some of the movies that I watched this year, and we'll put them on our review kind of list. What have you been seeing recently? What this week? What have you been watching?
Well, I've been working, man. I've been working
Okay.
5 nights, and I've been painting the house.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a day off in 4 weeks,
Wow. Okay.
and I'm getting a little exhausted. I'm going to try to hit ball day in the morning, but I mean, it's the Queen's Gambit. It's and then it's always my comfort. My comfort food, probably more comfort food, baking, all comfort food. Because if I
Yeah.
put stuff on, I haven't seen that I burn the shit out of the cookies. So I have to have something.
Especially when you don't have a lot of time, it's like it's always.
I eat with
easiest-
movies.
Yeah, it's also easy. Also, it's always easiest to go back to your comfort viewing, like a Narcos or like a Social
Well,
Network.
no,
because-
Narcos has not. I haven't had Narcos on in quite a while. But what I have watched a lot of is
Yeah, I haven't had Narcos
my
on for at least a
movies.
month.
I've been watching a lot of Moneyball, Social
Okay.
Network, Terms of Endearment,
Yeah.
About Time. Have you seen About Time with Rachel
I-
McAdams?
I know the movie. I haven't seen it though.
No, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I think
I-
you've recommended it. Yeah,
My friend, Kurt,
yeah,
old climbing partner, the rocket scientist guy, now one of the younger chiefs of the Denver Fire Department.
yeah.
He recommended this movie, and I saw Rachel McAdams. I'm thinking The Notebook, but man, this cuts a swath
Hmm.
of emotion, and the message is this: why have to go back and change your life? Why not just live it right the first time?
Yeah,
And it has a couple characters. There's a playwright in there, and he's a British actor, and you have seen him. You won't know him. He is just a bomb. I connect to this guy. You'll dig it. It's a great movie, and that probably truth is I watched that this week, probably 3 or 4 times,
yeah,
and I just run it in the background like music or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But other than that, no. I haven't watched any football, no news,
Mhm.
hardly any TV. But I would say this year, but you know what? I love Mad Men.
It's a great one.
So
Yeah.
Mad Men, Breaking Bad for you is Mad Men for me. So that was
Okay.
something that till it got taken away from me
Yeah.
on every platform.
Well, you can watch it. You can watch it on IMDb through Amazon. It just has a couple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Has ads to it though.
But it's been a good year, and I'm glad we were able to do this show, and I hope that
Yeah.
people look at some of the things we look at, but more
Yeah.
important, get out and do stuff.
Get out and do stuff.
And I mean, I hope to come hang out with you sometime.
Yeah, whenever you
over
want.
the holidays,
Come by Saturday if you want. House is open.
no painting.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's right.
Dude, I'm on the burn for another 5 days, and then I think my wife and we might go down to Venice Suites and hang out. Even though there's no restaurants, they got a kitchen, full kitchen in the hotel, and I'm telling you what. Sometime we got to go down. If I stay there, you've got to come down and go up on the roof and party. Definitely. It is the most. I'm telling you.
Let me know. We'll be there.
And that would have to be my second thing after Yosemite with my wife being down there. It made me realize I love the mountains, but I need to hang out at the beach once in a while.
Same. I think for me, two best trips are the ones we've taken this year. Yosemite, going through Arizona, Nevada, staying in Vegas the last night, touring Yosemite. I haven't been there since I was a kid.
You went to Yosemite this year too?
Yeah, or not Yosemite, Utah. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Utah.
okay.
Yeah. And then we took a weekend trip up to San Diego. Yeah, that was fun. That was great. Seeing how San Diego adapted to the pandemic, closed off some streets, and they had all the restaurants just kind of do their outdoor dining, so you can walk up and down the streets.
After the pandemic started going,
yeah,
and I wasn't working, but I was getting the great stimulus and this.
Yeah,
I was like, man, my wife, we were ready to stink in stuff. I thought, let's just get in the car and go. We get paid. Let's just do stuff. And then I got the call and had to go back. But Ramon, this is what I told him one time. I said, listen, man, if I get rich, can I pay you $1 million and we'll just drive around the country for a year? He said, no problem. He said, drop of a hat. In fact, what he said was drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So anyway, and you talked about, I agree. It's just nice to just get LA just wears. Do you think after a while a little bit the city?
It does. It's nice to it's good to get out and then come back, because I do love LA. LA is like, even when I lived out of LA for a while, in Vegas, I
didn't know you lived in Vegas.
Yeah, for during school. I came back and I just missed it. I missed the food.
Is that weird living there?
No, it was a little weird. Yeah. Because
I don't mean weird, but I mean it's like, okay,
it's different.
Till you work in a hotel,
you
don't know. And now that I know, I don't even, it's very few hotels I want to go to because I pull back the bed. I can't help myself.
I know. You go to Vegas and I'm like, I see, like, when it was normal, you see the lines just roping around, people trying to check in at whatever big hotel you're at. I'm like, oh, ugh. I know.
It's just different. But anyway, it's been an interesting year.
Yeah.
And our lives will never be the same. And I don't think the hotel industry or hospitality industry will ever be the same. And there's never going to be the amount of people.
I think things are gonna have to bounce back. A lot of things are gonna be adjusted. A lot of businesses are gonna go away. A lot of the normal used to be the normal way of doing things are gonna change. And I think the economy, I think people will adapt and will go forward, and new industries or new way of doing things will emerge. So it's all gonna come back, bounce back, I think, at some point. But no, it's been a great year for the most part, aside from everything shutting down. Did a lot of change. It been a lot of soul searching and changing.
Listen, there better be some changes, because if we're going to put up, if we're going to be, everybody's going to be doing stuff and whatever. Hey, whatever it is, let's have some change, but let's make it last. I don't want to. I want us to all move forward together.
Yeah,
that's my line. That and eat a lot of pizza. That's one of the truth is, I got to tell you. That's been the fourth P for me. Yeah. I think I've eaten more pizza since March. Yeah. I had pizza yesterday. I got pizza. I'm taking it on mountain tomorrow. I have I freeze pizza and bring it up, because I don't have to freeze it tomorrow. It'll be freezing itself in my pack. But I've eaten more pizza this year, and just ordered for my mom Giordano's.
Nice.
Chicago deep dish, so it'll be there so she can have pizza for during the holidays.
That's good.
And so, hey, you know what? I'm gonna order. I'll get some Giordano's, and when I get it, then we'll come make it at your house.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
and then you can experience true
Yeah.
cholesterol. And don't ask for vegan Giordano's.
Yeah. So before we sign off, some of our those are our reviews, our picks for the year. We'll put more up on social media. I'm
not. You know what? I'm just not a social media guy. I don't go on.
I think you do pretty good, man. Just to let everybody know, you do a lot of those.
Okay. Before we go, we have to give out this major shout out to Anne Reiking, because that lady is the lady of Broadway.
Yeah.
Bob Fosse's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And just when you're talking about Michael Jordan, we're talking about Anne Reiking when you're talking about that level of dance.
Yeah.
And so she died at 71 in her sleep.
Okay.
At her brother's house, and when you go back, I'm Bob Fosse fan, and a lot of that obviously is the wonderful influence of my wife in theater, but Bob Fosse trained like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, they say the way he held the hat and did everything. And if you go, there's a famous dance he did, and you can see that Michael Jackson stole everything.
Yeah, I think you showed me that one time.
Yeah, and but anyway,
like move for move. Yeah.
The saddest moment.
Yeah.
For my wife and probably I in the pandemic that we haven't talked about, and the last thing with Anne Reiking is theater and comedy clubs and things that gave so much life to people because people went together. I mean, when you're at the comedy club and everybody's laughing, it's just a buzz. And even this year before the comedy all stopping, to be hanging out with, even the open mics, and I'm in the alleys and hanging out with these guys, and my wife was with me the whole time. It was just you meet the craziest people.
Yeah.
And all these venues, and those are the things that, hey, if you're rich out there, that's what you need to be supporting.
Yeah.
Don't give your money to
things that get people through recovery.
Hey, we need this. We need the arts.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Zoom arts and YouTube. I'm talking about in person.
Yeah.
So people, keep your mask on and let's get this stuff going.
Yeah.
That's my message.
That's right.
We need to laugh together. We need to go to theater. We need concerts. We don't need the Oakland Raiders though.
No. Also, going through Vegas, you see their new stadium. It's all black. It's color. It's pretty cool.
You know what? The only reason why I don't like the Oakland Raiders is that I worked with a guy named Mike Garcia.
And you
used to call him Garbage Sia because that's what his work was. Garbage Sia. And so he just tortured me. He knew I couldn't hurt him legally, so he just tortured me. So, here's the story. So I went and talked to his dad. I said, listen, he's a legal adult and he's pushing me. Make no mistake. You know who I am.
Yeah.
From the next day on, me and Mike Garcia were friends. It was a full twist. And Turner, he was a pretty cool guy, whatever.
That's cool of you to go over there and tell him.
I was saying, well, it ain't going to be me who's going to be doing the crushing, but he's going to get a beat down eventually. Yeah. So anyway, because of him and the Oakland Raiders, you can understand the stain.
Yeah. Anyway. Before we go, what else can I say? It's been great doing the podcast. We got to give this whole thing a shout out to, because
I agree. Thank you for your work. We put this together, and even though we've had some times, but the truth is there were times this summer when there wasn't time to do it, and we were out of respect we are behind people.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to make jokes at a time when people need to be introspective.
And so honestly, it's just nice to have a conversation and have hopefully people enjoy the conversation that we have. We're not cracking jokes all the time, but we're also talking about things that matter, things that don't matter, but we enjoy them, and we hope people enjoy them too.
That's called conversation. Yeah. And that's called accountability, and that's called honesty. But mainly, I got on this thing for one reason, and that's because I love movies.
Yeah.
And I have found that film and TV to be the great connector. And when we look at all the different people, and we go back to personal experience at the Westin, where really this started, Think about the eclectic group of people that were
Yeah.
standing around this room bullshitting about movies.
Yeah.
It was pretty. I mean, even me in this group and different. It was just, I mean, fascinating, and it just showed that there is a connection through emotion. And all these shows you listed,
Yeah.
and all the shows that I like, they all make you feel exactly the same every time you watch it. That's why you rewatch them.
And as far for us, it was just fun it's nice to have a conversation, to keep in touch, and to have like another form of creative outlet. Like
No,
it's like
not-
it's like it's just nice to have that. So we it's like a trifecta of like great conversation, and we also get to like exercise our creativity and exercise our like just put something out there that's of the arts, I guess, in some way, some shape or form. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, the arts changed lives in some
Yeah.
of the worst times. I'm gonna tell you what, Hollywood, it's time to get off your ass and start doing something for America, because that's what
Yeah.
you did in World War II.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. And that could really, we don't need to be told. We need to just escape, because everyone's having a hard time.
Or
Anyway.
else Tom Cruise is going to come and get you. That's
And hey, you know what? He's right on.
yeah, he was right on, man. That was. I don't think anybody
man,
really disagreed with.
He
what-
knows that if people get sick and his thing shuts down, it's costing everybody money
Well, I
and
think-
jobs.
and I think they already had a shutdown for a couple of weeks on that set. I think 12 people got it, and then so the second time running, he sees people slacking off or not abiding by the rules. Man, he's not messing around. So I think nobody really disagreed with anything he had to say.
No, hey,
It just made
listen.
headlines.
Put your masks on.
Yeah,
J-
we all got to
If-
do it. We all got to do what we got to do. Just
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the mask. I wish I could cover my whole head.
I know.
People don't know how old I am. I love it. It's been the best thing that happened to me in my life. That's
Shout out
that's
to
pretty
Larry-
sad.
Another shout out. If I'm gonna give a shout out to Larry David. I've been watching a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm the past like couple of weeks. Man, it was I watched.
Okay. I watched it when it came out originally. I
Yeah.
love it. And you can see now that the characters in Seinfeld, the tough ones were his
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
creation. But
I'm
his
on
show,
season
I
9
like
right
it.
now.
But after 2 or 3 in a row, it's like Seinfeld on crack.
It is,
Not
man.
that it's bad. I just have to step back a little bit
Yeah, you take a
and
break.
so I can have faith in humanity again.
Take a break from it, but then oh man, it's so good to revisit.
Well, yeah, like I
went
said,
through-
it's Seinfeld on crack. It's perfect.
I went through 2 seasons. I'm finishing the 9th season right now.
I love his wife.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
her.
it's so good. Oh my, like the episode I just saw, it was last night. I'm on the 9th season, which was came back.
Oh, I only probably saw 2 or 3 when it came out. to be honest
You're
with you.
missing out. You're missing out. You got to keep watching, man. It's so good. He's so freaking hilarious, man. Every episode,
Hey, listen,
ridiculous.
I got.
Yeah.
Thank you, but I have to go put lights on the Christmas tree. I wasn't allowed to do the podcast without a tray during the holiday season. I baked yesterday, so therefore I have to pay for it today. So I'm going to go put the lights on.
Yeah.
I will definitely talk to you before Christmas. To everybody out there, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a blessed New Year. Thank you for listening, and please support the arts.
Yeah.
That's my line of the year. Please do give money, support these clubs, whatever, because the truth is they're not going to be here, and they are the only expression we have.
Yep.
So if you want if you want expression, we need theaters.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining
All right,
us
have
this
a good
year.
night.
See you guys in 2021. Hopefully maybe we'll get another one before the end of the year.
No, we will.
We will. Okay, good. And
Once
then,
I get my schedule,
all right.
maybe
and
do
then
a late night one or something like like one holiday really super late. That would
We'll
be
get-
probably.
We'll get a
great.
New Year special
Excellent.
before the New Year.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good time.